Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and happy 25th anniversary of the Just Day. The theme is very interesting, mapping mind, shaping the world. For the Africa, we should say, through the application of the technologies for sustainable development in Africa, we can unlock a lot of promises of tomorrow from the patterns of the past. I wish they should travel to the continent and join you in person for the celebration of this very important day. Unfortunately, this has not been possible, but I try to share some insights of what South Africa had been doing to contribute to the sustainability of Earth observation technologies across the continent. Digital South Africa have been there to provide routine Earth observation datasets covering the whole continent free of charge to academicians, uh, public servants, private sector, and anyone else who would like to contribute to environmental, socioeconomic challenges our continent is facing. So far, I've been working on the information related to agricultural food security, water resource and flood risk, land degradation, urbanization, coastal erosion, and many others on the request by users and partners. The program wouldn't have been successful without the close collaboration with armed learning partners like OSS in Tunisia, CC in Senegal, AfroEast in Nigeria, Agreement in Niger, RCMAD in Kenya, and several space agencies across the continent. These partners have helped a lot from need assessment, provide development, validation, capacity building, and dissemination campaigns and workshops. We believe the work we are doing is enormously contributing to SDGs and also the continental agenda, especially the Vision 2063, the Africa we want, or the African Union. We are trying to collaborate with the government to provide customized country-specific solutions in the area of Earth observations and geospatial technologies. Our principle is very simple. We are trying to bridge the gap between data providers, which are space agencies, and we try to process their data sets and make them free accessible in an ready format to the users through an open data cube approach, meaning that everyone could access the small area of interest, run the analysis, or even export raw data sets, depending upon the needs. And we do our best to align everything we do with SDGs in terms of simplifying complex workflows to easily digestible information and datasets. So far, we have approximately 4 petabytes of datasets on the Amazon Web Service server that's in Cape in South Africa. Everything was achieved through the collaboration with above 17 African-based organizations, but also some technical research partners have been instrumental the establishment and the sustainability of the program. So far, we have several continental services, starting by the GeoMAD cloud delivery mosaics, derived from Landsat 30-meter resolution and Sentinel to that's 10-meter resolution. And the crop extend to inform the cultivated land across the whole continent, fractional cover to understand the respective green areas from non-green on the continent, then divide climatologists to monitor the crop health and dynamics across the continent, and also water observations from space to monitor the long-term dynamics of inland water. And let this, like floods, the coastlines to understand the trend of the coast of the African continent and with an emphasis on the solutions to reduce coastal erosion. So far, I was talking about those services from wetlands to inform the trend in wetlands, coastal erosion to monitor the coastlines, water bodies, polygons showing the trend of inland water bodies above 7,000 water bodies were extracted from 1980s to nowadays. The water observations for long-term water monitoring, the geomads, cloud-free mosaics, from which you can derive several indices to monitor phenomena across the continent, the crop extent, and so on. And every product we have is at continental scale. We have some libraries that are publicly available. And of course, to be successful, you should co-develop every product with the partners. Currently, we are developing a wetland workflow covering the whole continent, and this will go from sampling, feature extraction, binary classification, wetland or wetland, until the wetland types. And this project will be released soon, and we hope then it will be contributing to some mitigations of climate change impact through detailed or facts yet using Earth observation. This is the crop mask I said, the indirect climatology to inform crop trend, fractional cover to understand the greenness across the continent. And this is freely available via the Africa platforms. The water observation from space for long-term water monitoring, as I was saying, is very key because we believe under changing climate, understanding the water resources, their dynamics, and related impacts should inform different decisions across the continent. The program ownership, in order to make impacts, should go through several stages, especially some high-level engagement and some workshop being hands-on trainings, even awareness trainings, some big workshops, even conference attendance, and so on. So this is a way of making sure that what we do impacts the lives of people across the continent, but also we transmit the technology to users and also impact the decisions by government and also local international organizations. We know that the future of our continent belongs to young people. That's why I try to approach them to be more inclusive. This is an example of our collaboration with the YouthMappers. We had a challenge in 2022, and they devoted their project, this mentorship, and some other prizes to make sure that what we do, we impact, we empower the young people who take over in the near future. Also, we have been collaborating with African Human in GIS in terms of mentorship and also we had a challenge and people got some prizes, and we are resuming the same programs in 2025. The other thing, so the currently ongoing Earth Observation Challenge was led by South Africa, and now we are currently in the finals, and in Nairobi by the end of the month, people will meet there in the boot camp just to mature their project ideas, and all this is to kind of mainstream what we do, but also attract many people across the continent to make impact with a focus on some marginalized groups. We have several platforms to access our datasets. The Africa map that is based on a very simple principle of web mapping, which you can go explore datasets, run some detections, but without any statistics. The sandbox is very robust. It's based on Python coding, and you can go through it, run very big analysis, export raw data, statistics in terms of tables, graphs, maps, however you want, you can customize and do a great job. You have to create just an account, and also there are a lot of free accessible notebooks with the way detailed steps. You can also use the classic softwares and connect to the Africa uh, data cube and enjoy the dataset very, very well using an API. So the capacity building platform was put in place, and it's a matter of going there. There's some introduction to the sandbox, access to our process, and they can solve some of the problems. You can log on and see the way it works. And also there are some specific courses like on water resource monitoring, urbanization, coastal erosion, land degradation, and so on. You connect, and it's free of charge, it's a paste, and they're there to support 24/7 once you are stuck. This is an example of our the Africa maps. When you go to maps.gf.africa, you access it, and then you can be able to go through our data sets and do some very simple analysis. Now, in collaboration with S3, we were able to make the Africa datasets available via the Africa Geoportal. Through a live atlas, you can enjoy the Africa datasets. And we thank S3 for also their contribution in geospatial technologies across the whole world, but also the support and good collaboration with the Africa. The sandbox based on Python coding, you create an account, and when you go through it, there are a lot of codings for beginners and the basic of Python, but also there are some frequently used code, there are data sets, which data we have, how they can be used, and a lot of examples, a lot of notebooks that were developed to inform several phenomena like water resource management, forest monitoring, and so on. Use cases, when someone does a great job, he or she could share the work to make it publicly available for uses in another area on the content, but even can be upgraded by any user across the continent. And these codes are available under this folder called use cases under our Digital Earth Africa sandbox. So far, we think if the uptake of the products is still low, we want to make a lot of impact. but we were lucky that there are a lot of cases across the continent on coast erosion monitoring, the nature conservation, like the case of mangrove monitoring in Zanzibar, that inspired, informed the restoration project. Uh, the water monitoring in Okavango, in Botswana, in Lake Ngami, that inspired the restoration project, the hillside restoration project. The water conservation from space that informed that the lake Baringo was increasing in water and affecting the giraffes that were reformed back to their uh, natural habitats, and other information on urbanization in Gulu, Uganda, and Kumasi, mangrove monitoring, agriculture information, and so on. Those by our partners, even supported by the Africa team. Alignment with SDGs, for example, the use of uh, land cover maps to inform several SDG indicators. This is an example of the SDG indicator 15.3.1 that is trying to understand land degradation. And you had others on SDG 15.4.2 mountain cover index, and also the SDG 6.6.1 on water system monitoring with the Tunisia statistics and many others across the whole continent. This was an example of the crop health, how we can understand the trend in spectral signatures. If those parcels of one field don't behave the same way, you should cross-check what's wrong. Maybe the actual inputs are not of good quality. Maybe the practices were not respected, and we should go back. Maybe the climate was not good, there were pests and water shortage, to go back and see what really happened. So understand the phenology, we could understand from the start of the season, the peak of the season, and end of the season. If you compare 2 or more years, I can understand which year had uh, a food security problem and which one was very good in terms of crop production. And this you could do it using an optical sensor, but also can use a radar sensor that should penetrate the clouds, especially across the continent, especially in tropical areas which have a lot of cloud cover. So we can also produce some simple animations to combine the map of crops per month and also to see the individual trend and also in the anomalies. And this is, if you can see this image, you can see that this farmland in Madagascar was experiencing a dry condition from June to December, and anomalies also could indicate that. So, like this example informing the rangeland management in Kenya, and this is very key because if the rangelands are not of good quality, even the cattle will suffer. And think about milk and meat production in the area, without mentioning the climate around between farmers and people uh, living on livestock. This is also when we try to understand the water observations. There was an example of Antananarivo. So you can see that how the area has been flooding over years, and also you can do a change detection, and you could see um, uh, that almost 4.74 square kilometer were flooded uh, over a period of 5 years. That's between 2017 to 2022. But for the seasonality also, to inform water resource management, flood risk, understand the seasonality. That's why using the SNED 2 dataset, we can understand the seasonality uh, within a given area, because the floods only occur during the rainy season. And also can produce the vegetation map to inform how the water has been increasing or threatening lands, being agricultural lands, even settlements over time. We can also use the same tool to assess the water extent through the Rekingami. You can see how it was in 2021. And Prof. Keneboge and the team led that poor practices on the hillside were threatening the lake. That's why they putting together integrated watershed plan to restore the hillside around Rekingame in Lower Okavango. Also trying to understand water and also how they could threaten croplands and settlements. This was the example of Lokoja. Most of the times, development activities should be carried out in less or non-flood prone areas. This is what you call unaffected, built up or unaffected croplands. The example thing about the mangrove in Zanzibar, with the collaboration with the academia, State University of Zanzibar, thanks to Khalija and the team, were able to monitor to show that the wetland was shrinking, the mangrove vegetation was shrinking, and the guys were able to bring some restoration initiatives, the collaboration with the local population, and now we are still supporting the team in the area of monitoring. The very powerful coastlines monitoring continental product was developed to understand the trend of coastal erosion. And also we think our partners like CSC in Senegal and the Rastmar in Kenya for helping both the development and monitoring and validation of these products. And of course, we acknowledge the work done by GIS Australia, because a bit from the Digital Earth Australia coastlines projects. This is an example of Lake Bolingo, a very good documentary by BBC on how you're able to inform the increase of water table and giraffes on this wetland of this island were brought to their previous natural habitat just to save them. And a lot of stuff are happening, and you can learn about the Africa via our website. We have a help desk, you log in and you get, when you receive your ticket, we get back to you quickly. And also we have our online platform and our weekly live session is there to share ideas and to change, to discuss with several users across the continent, but also to present available products and also to collect feedback. So it's always on Wednesday at 11 a.m. GMT. Our courses are available online. They are self-paced, very well detailed tutorials, and then at the end, you receive a certificate. But most importantly, we understand how we can use Earth observation data sets to inform several decisions. And of course, we acknowledge everyone who is behind the scenes of the program, and we think more people come on board. And of course, if you'd like to give your feedback, please scan the QR code and get back to us or reach out to us via our emails. We are always more than happy to support the team. Once again, I wish you a very wonderful GIS day, and together let's unlock the promise of tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye.